Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Key Factors Podcast. I am your host, Mark Jones, and this podcast is sponsored by ReviewMyMortgage.com, the largest index for mortgage programs nationally. And today I am joined by a friend that goes way back, Eric Delgado with Academy Mortgage. And our topic is going to be memes and mortgages leveraging social media. So Eric, first off, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, man?
Doing well. I have a couple of quick questions I want to get out of the way. First one, do you think you're funny?
No, not at all. Maybe my mom thinks I'm funny.
Right.
But I mean, she's biologically, she has to do that. That's what it is.
Inherent.
Yeah,
That's exactly
inherent.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Second question, is it meme or meme?
It is meme, but I always like when they say meme.
One of my loan officers wanted me to just make sure and clarify that. But yeah, today, guys, we're going to be discussing social media, how it's been leveraged, different ways that it has been leveraged. And I've got Eric on the show because, in my opinion, from what I've seen, Eric has done a great job of grabbing the attention of realtors, consumers, other lenders in our industry by way of humor. And you have leveraged your memes quite a bit. So first off, tell us a little bit about your experience, how long you've been in mortgage, where you came from, all that good stuff real quick.
All right. Yeah, I started off basically, I actually came from like a roofing background. Actually, I used to supplement for this roofer, like insurance companies.
Gotcha.
Basically trying to extract more money for work that
Makes sense.
May or may not have done. No, don't quote me on that. But one of my best friends who was at a Cornerstone Home Lending, Benicio Solis.
Yeah.
Okay. So he was like, hey, I think you'd be pretty good at this. You're good with people. You care a lot. So he was like, try to join. I actually had to apply there 5 times before they hired me. Finally, the business development rep was like, I'm not going to get rid of you, am I? I was like, probably not.
So safe to say you don't give up easily.
I don't give up easily.
Awesome.
So that's how I got into the business. And obviously that I've known you for a while.
Yeah. Me and Eric go way back, back to my poker days.
Just take all my money.
And it was funny back then. I mean, brought the humor to the table, and it was, in my opinion, made everybody feel comfortable. It breeds a pretty cool culture when you know that it's a safe zone to make jokes and know that it's from a good place. So that being said, your posts on social media, how did you get into that? Why did you start getting into that?
Well, I remember when I started with the lender I'm currently with. I'm born and raised here, so I knew a lot of people, especially real estate agents. And I remember when I first started off, everything was kind of slow for me, as that for any new loan officer.
Sure.
I couldn't even get agents to meet me for coffee, and I don't even drink coffee.
Right.
It was just kind of like, what? Like, it was kind of like disheartening, I guess. So I knew I had to deviate myself, make a name for myself, separate myself from the herd.
Absolutely. And I talk about this quite often with our loan officers, and it has to do with your value proposition and what makes you different from the rest. And I think in your case, the difference that you separate yourself widely from the pack is your relatability. You being human, you're a real person. And that leads to kind of a point of when people are posting on social media. I used to say there's an 80-20 rule. You should post 80% you, 20% your business. I believe moving forward, it's now 90-10. People don't want to hear about business.
Right.
So you happen to pick that up, and not just pick it up. It's like you picked it up, dribbled it between your legs, then dunked it a couple of times and are still taking alley-oops.
Still going with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's when I had to separate myself. I remember telling my manager, I was like, I think I'm going to start making real estate memes. And he was like, you mean like those things on Facebook? And I was like, yes, exactly like those things. And he just said, good luck. And he closed the door. And that was 3 years ago. And
I believe
was like,
that. Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's a little different now. It's like, yeah, that people want to be entertained, just like you picked up. That's what they want. And,
you're exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
So in going with that, consistency, I believe, in my opinion, consistency is the key for anything with social media. But I want to kind of go back a bit in regards to how you pick your platform. You personally, how did you pick your platform? And then essentially, if you've got any advice for other lenders, realtors out there that are considering doing the same. Maybe they're going through, like you said, I'm new in the business. I'm trying to figure out how I can actually get in the DM of a realtor.
Right.
But I don't know how to go about it. Social media, I posted, but it's not working.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just kind of, you find your niche, you roll with it, as far as what platform I picked, I was already on Facebook and I had been on there for a while, doing my little cheesy dad jokes, making corny memes and things like that. So I kind of just started rolling with that. What's kind of interesting though, is that I would post these real estate memes on my personal page on Facebook. And I learned really quick that my actual friends that weren't in the industry weren't too fond of them. Maybe it's because they didn't get it. They were
probably
like,
didn't get it. Yeah.
So that's when I was like, okay, so I have to find a different audience. And that's when I started joining these real estate groups and whatnot. That's where I really felt like I could shine there.
Absolutely.
And get my name out. Because, yeah.
So being that you kind of took a step back to, let's say, create a plan or a course of attack, you decided to go into groups to where you could spray into most of the people in your industry, given that you've already tried it on your personal and they just kind of didn't get it.
It was a mix. Some people would get it. I mean, actually, more importantly, I did pick up leads because of it.
Sure.
And that, that was always the goal. You know what I mean? But yeah, when I started tackling these groups, it was interesting because obviously, I'm licensed in Texas. So I knew who my target
audience was.
Right. They're my Texas real estate agents. So when I started reaching out to them, they're in these groups and I would generate feedback, start communicating with them. It was a beautiful thing. I was like, that's exactly what I was trying to accomplish. And it worked.
So within these groups, and as we know, anybody that has attempted to use social media to leverage, it doesn't always work in the beginning. Matter of fact, it probably never works in the beginning. Why do you think that is?
I just think sometimes people try to be somebody they're not. And people can see that. They can see right through you. They're like, yeah, you're forcing that. It's not natural. It's not organic. You know what I mean?
Right.
On that note, it's one of those things where that's how like the Kardashians prevailed. Like Kim Kardashian, where she started doing this organic marketing. It was just her talking to her Instagram followers, but about a product. And it was just like so natural before her followers knew it. They were just buying the product.
Correct.
And it was like, wow, what just happened?
Right.
So that's something that's the advice I'd give. Like, just be yourself.
And that leads to the question of, does one have to be funny? Humor or bust? Or is it more so, like you said, be yourself?
Yeah, I would definitely say be yourself. I mean, if you have the gift of humor, roll with it. But humor is a tricky thing.
Sure.
What might be funny to you might not be funny to me. It's very subjective. So it's tough. But I've always found, like, especially in our industry, it's not for the weak.
You're correct.
So it's one of those things where I try to make it anybody's day just a little happier for just that moment.
No, you're correct. And I mean, I think everyone would like to think that on the mortgage and real estate side of what we do, that all of us went to college to do this. We have financial background, every single one of us. And that's just not the case. Right. I mean, more times than not, realtors came from a service industry. Right. Lenders came from a sales type industry, either car sales or something along those lines, and learned how to do mortgage to leverage, et cetera. And I think folks are scared to go away from or too far from the line, if that makes sense. Right. But in your case, you're pushing the boundaries on that. How do you feel when that happens? I mean, what's going on with that?
I know when I generate buzz, that's always a good thing. I don't know the best way to say it. Like, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
I love that. I have that written down here, actually, because it leads me to, there was a realtor back in the day, and I won't name names. He knows who he is and a good friend of mine, but he had posted something depicting a professional athlete as if they were represented by him in purchasing real estate property. He ended up going through a lawsuit and all that good stuff. But I guess what is too far, and when someone is, let's say, going down the road of memes, what line do you walk when dealing with potential copyright, stepping on others' toes, reusing someone else's post, things of that nature?
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because when I first started, making these memes, it kind of just came natural to me because I have a background. I used to write commercials. So when, writing a 30-second story to get the consumer to do something, to capture their attention, that's hard. Putting some words on a picture, still that's a little hard for people, but I knew that, okay, I can do this. Am I going to get in trouble though for using this picture? I don't know. So when I first started making these memes, I'd never put I meme real estate like all over my memes like I do now. Now, when I realized everybody else was doing it, and I saw nobody getting in trouble or anything like that. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to roll with it until something happens. Fortunately, nothing's happened. You know what I mean? But I was like, well, are they going to sue everybody?
Correct. And I don't think that they have put regulations in place for these types of posts because they are intended for humor. They're not defaming anyone. Right. They are not intended, or even at the face of it, to smear any of the photos that you have in there. But you did make a great point that I want to emphasize is if you are planning on getting into doing something like this, letting your creative juices flow on the top and the bottom of an epic picture that makes it funny as hell, make sure that you add some form of branding in that, because I'll tell you a quick story. And I pulled it up to show the other loan officers because they thought I was full of it. But I used to do the memes too. And I did that. I remember. Yeah. I did that many, many years ago, and it worked to get the attention. And I think that's why we have obviously a lot more in common, but it was back in 2016. And
that was just yesterday, right?
Right. Yeah. 2016, where I posted this right here. I made this meme and I used fast edits to do it. And it wasn't a good one. And the meme that I'm showing him is a picture of Matthew McConaughey standing against the billiards in Dazed and Confused. And it says at the top, you guys own a home or a house? Be cooler if you did.
Be cooler if you did.
So years later, I see on Facebook scrolling through, that post is on there and it's gone viral, but my branding wasn't on there.
Right.
And it was like, dang, nobody will ever believe unless I have the proof like this to make this. So that's a great point that I think you need to make sure. And like I always say in other topics, start with the end in sight to make sure that you cross your bases. And that's why we're having this discussion. So let's see. Copyright. We talked about copyright. Inspiration. Where do you get the inspiration for the outlandish and very hilarious things that are coming out of your page?
Crazy head?
That too.
It was one of those things that kind of came natural to me because like I said before about the commercials, I've done short films. So when I see a picture and the picture enough is to captivate, and it's either hilarious or dramatic or there's an expression there. There's a story that needs to be told with just one photo.
I love that. Yeah.
So I figure out, okay, how can I make this real estate related? How can I generate some buzz? How can I feed the people?
Sure.
You know what I mean? And that's where I kind of go with it. Like I just see the picture, flip it around to real estate. I mean, there's been times where I've seen other memes and I'm just like, okay, I got to go find that picture without the the verbiage on it.
Because you saw something and went, wait a minute, that could be better used this way.
Yes.
That's very exactly smart. Right. Yeah. I mean, and I would do the same thing. Truly, are there times when we can think of something without seeing the image first? Yeah, absolutely. But in my opinion, it's things that you see that spark additional content that you can put over the top of it, and it applies to our industry or what you're trying to convey.
Absolutely right. It's what can I do to engage the audience? And it's just fun. I'm never forced to do these things.
Sure.
I mean, a lot of times it might be at night before I go to bed, maybe watching Selling Sunset.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, that is meme gold. That show. Oh my goodness. But I might be at the bar just, okay, I think I got an idea. And I'm like that little nerd at the corner. Just hold on, guys. I can't talk to you. I mean business right now.
I mean business. That's awesome. That is awesome. And it seems like your well is not even close to running dry. You've got an incredible creative mind and always have. As well. But I mean, you're putting it and using it in this day and age. I had my time and I believe that it has gotten me to where I am now, but definitely it goes to show that something from the past can still be used today if you put today's spin on it.
Right. Absolutely. You can take pictures from memes from 10 years ago and you can almost bring them back to life with just updated real estate terms or something like that.
Yeah.
And it'll still get the job done.
That makes sense. So in regards to, let's say, I know because I personally went through it back in the day, I'll have people that will say, why do you post so much? What is too often and what is not often enough? Ooh. Can you post too often or not enough?
That's the thing. You can probably post too much. Okay. Trust me, I found that out, especially back in the day when I first started posting about real estate. Some of my best friends said, oh, we didn't see your post because we unfollowed you because we don't know what you're talking about.
And I can attest, I went through the same thing. Yep. And what I learned is to simply say, it's not intended for you.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly
You know me, it's not intended for you. Nope. So I'm going to keep doing it because it is working.
Yep. That's exactly it.
Unfollow me. No big deal.
And then I think they say a good amount of posts is maybe 2 per day. If you start going 5 to 10, which
we've been there, we've both been there. Absolutely. Right.
Sometimes I got cool stuff to say. What do you want me to do?
Awesome. Yes.
So
wait for tomorrow.
No, I'll do it right now. Someone's going to get it first. So if you can kind of keep it, I feel like if you can kind of keep it 2 or 3 a day, that's a good amount. Now, mind you, on average, I think you're with ads and everything like that, and your friends post and sponsorship post and all that. You're probably going to see anywhere on your feed alone. I think I read it was something like 1,000 to 1,500 things a day on your feed. So the point is, that's a lot. That's a lot. I didn't think it was that many.
And it probably was less, but now they've discovered that our thumbs are getting faster as time progresses.
Exactly. And our phones are listening to us like, oh, they're thinking about buying some boots. Let's just throw this ad in there. So if there's that many posts per day, what did you post that separates yourself from that amount?
Sure.
That 1,500. And that's what I always try to, I already have that in the back of my mind, who I'm trying to captivate here. I know my target audience. It's obviously real estate agents and potential buyers.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's kind of what I go after. And that's what I try, like I said earlier, to separate myself from the herd. So sometimes I can do too much.
I don't know I guess the answer to that question, in my opinion, would be know your audience. Because, for example, your posts in Shift Talk, which is a social media group that consists of realtors, lenders, insurance agents, just industry professionals.
Right.
I don't think that there is too often in that group as long as it's funny.
Right.
And if 1 person, 2 people find you funny, it worked.
Right.
So that being said, have you taken the step to use some of this content in marketing ads, put some dollars behind it to maybe attach to a form that generates leads directed towards consumers or realtors?
Yeah, see, and that's the thing I actually haven't tapped into. I know it's successful. I know it's successful for you.
Oh, absolutely.
It's successful for some of my loan officers. That's something I haven't tapped into, is the Facebook ads.
So this is all organic,
which
is the best.
Yes.
So, I mean, that is the bee's knees, so to speak. And folks aspire to get to that level with social media. And I believe that they think that it's going to happen overnight. But I think one of the biggest factors that we want to display or to get across is nobody really wants to hear about mortgage all day. And if you're a realtor, they don't want to hear real estate all day. They want to be able to relate to you as a person. And that would be the reason that they end up doing business with you, not because you're a realtor and you posted flyers all day long about being a realtor.
Right. Exactly.
Those people probably don't see you because they unfollowed you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Like you said about your percentage, mix it up a little bit, because you're right. I'm not flyer. I'm not, I see that for but mind you, at least the ones that are doing that are still trying, and they're still putting their name out there. So
I'm actually going to tell you, those that are still doing that, hey, hats off to you. You've got tenacity to hang around in doing that. But if you want to see a move in the needle, switch it up. People want to know about you, the individual, and why they should do business with you, not because you've got the same flyers that every single company has, the same loan programs that everybody has. What separates you from the rest? And it does not have to be humor. It can be educational. It can be your family. It can be things that inspire you, things that motivate you. And at the same time, and in the same token, people want to see your failures too.
Right.
I think back in the day when I was utilizing social media to leverage heavily from 2012 to, let's say, 2018, once I got my own branch and started promoting the branch instead of my own team, it had a lot to do with reaching different audiences, consumer-based, realtor-based, more about my family and my failures and things of that nature, versus I wasn't as creative as you on the meme stuff, but it did work when I did it.
Right. That's all that matters, is that you're trying, especially for real estate agents. It's actually baffling to me when, I hear stories like, oh, my second cousin used another real estate agent. And I was like, well, did they know you're a real estate agent? Did you post about it? Did you engage? It's almost like if you stay consistent with your social media post, it's almost like, you remember back in the day when they had the refrigerator actually had a magnet that you put a magnet on there?
Oh, yeah.
So imagine your business card magnet, and every day your family, your second cousin seeing it. Oh, you know what? Annalisa's a real estate agent. Maybe we should use her.
Right.
But if you don't constantly do it, they might forget. So keep putting your name out there.
And I'll add to that by a completely different way, but it's still marketing outlandishly.
Can't spell marketing without Mark. Just
Thank you very much. Or market talk. Or, yeah.
There you go.
So I think you remember I used to have my truck wrapped.
Absolutely.
And people would come up to me after the fact and say, hey, does this work? And I would simply say, you just asked me.
That's right.
It worked.
It just did.
So the same concept with these memes is, hey, you're funny. Does this really work? Well, yeah, I got your attention, didn't I?
Exactly.
We're talking. I've never spoken to you before. So whether it be an icebreaker, conversation starter, a way to bridge the gap between somebody that you want to start communicating with and doing business with, building a relationship, does it matter?
No, not at all.
I don't think it does.
You hooked them. You're there. That's the ultimate goal right there, is just somehow formulating a relationship, and it's got to start somewhere. So even if it's a corny joke or it's a story about how you helped out a family member or a veteran, you got their attention. Now back it up. Like,
absolutely. Show them the value.
Exactly.
Bring what you said you were going to bring, right. Which I think that has a big impact, which is the actual business or what you provide behind your social media posts. The social media post is fantastic. If you get the looks and you get the attention and you get the DMs, you still have to be able to back it up when the opportunity presents itself, right?
Absolutely. And because at the end of the day, you can post all you want, but in our business, the loan's got to get closed.
Right.
Or you got to sell your client's home. It's just one of those things.
So that leads me to a question of the difference between, or what do you think, cheesy or professional?
Ooh, you already know where I'm going with that.
I know. I want to know.
Sometimes cheesy works. Cheesy works. But
I just told JC the same thing. I said cheesy works sometimes.
Cheesy works. But as soon as you get that client, as soon as you get that real estate agent, or as soon as you nail that contract that you've been hoping for, like in anything, then now it's the time to be professional.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's where you can. But, regardless, like you could still be a little cheesy, of course, because when I speak with clients or agents, especially clients, I'm not trying to treat them like a loan number.
Right.
They have to know that we're people too, like, because it's a fun process.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's going to
be. People do not, especially from a consumer standpoint, they don't refer other people to you just because they had a decent experience.
Right.
It's about your personality.
Right.
It's what you add to that transaction that allows it to be fun, because the mortgage experience, I don't care what lender you use, it's still uncomfortable. It's still stressful.
Oh.
You're going through a large purchase, and we require certain things in order for you to get approval.
Right.
That's nerve-wracking. Things fall through the cracks, but if you have a loan officer that can be honest with you and still add a little humor to it, a little light, it must be a great experience to work with. And I personally do the same thing.
Right.
So that being said, yet again, converting likes to leads.
That's the ultimate goal.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
You're going to get the engagement. If you do it right, or there's no way to do it wrong. Just do it.
Just do it.
But
yeah.
Once you start forming a relationship, I kind of stay consistent with who's paying attention to my post.
Right.
And every once in a while, I don't even have to engage in the DM or reach out. They'll kind of reach out to you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, OMG, that was hilarious, blah, blah. That's where
that creates an opportunity.
Right. And then you go from there. But you also got to make sure they know what you do. You're just,
right.
So you just throw it out.
I'm not just a meme guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a mortgage meme guy.
Exactly. Like, hey, if you ever, just let you know if you ever need a second opinion or anything, it's something like that.
That's a great way in. One tactic I would use in the past would be, I'd love to be your second until I'm your first.
Love it.
So I guess it's a comfortable way when they do reach out to you. It's important for you to engage with them. Do you engage right away? Is it something that you feel like you should wait a little bit to feel like so they get the impression that you're a little busy type situation? What?
I kind of go off what they're doing.
Okay.
If they engage once every 20 posts or once every 50, probably going to leave that alone for a while. But if they're constantly on it and you're engaging with them, they're engaging with, then I kind of, I'll push the gas a little more.
It's kind of like that when you have somebody from your past that all of a sudden starts liking your old posts out of nowhere and they know you can see that. It's like, you must want my attention.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Now, it might have been an ex-girlfriend of mine, but
who knows? But it is true.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right.
And you were able to pick up on those signals to be able to go, okay, this may be an opportunity. This one's not. How do I leverage this one? You know what? I'll meet them at this mixer, or I'll meet them at this event, or something along those lines.
It actually goes back to I like to bring up, I'm sorry, we're bringing up poker.
Don't be sorry.
But, when we're at the table, you're constantly trying to get into that person's head. What are they holding? Are they lying?
Mhm.
Do they like me? Are they cool? Everything kind of just goes through your head, and you kind of just, it's one of those things, regardless, even if you reach out and it doesn't go as expected, at least you reached out, you gave it a shot, but maybe follow up a month or two down the road,
Right.
Even with a happy birthday text, a DM, like Facebook is literally telling you, hey, it's this person's birthday. Obviously, you wouldn't have known that. Reach out to your uncle, reach out to your potential client or potential real estate agent.
Right.
And tell them happy birthday. It's right there for you.
It's right there.
Yeah, right there. That's the easiest way to get engagement. Giving away my secrets.
No. I mean, that's what I think. And I believe that this show is intended to do, because if you search the internet for conversations like this, you'll find a bunch of videos with canned responses, a bunch of, hey, let's skirt that line. Well, I'd like to get rid of the line completely. Right. Let's be transparent with folks so that they can go, you know what? I got some value from that. And Eric, I'm going to go and follow him now because I heard him and he was the one that gave me the extra push to put these posts out. Oh. And then who knows, in my experience, it's paid off because I've been able to see some of the, I guess, time pass, and you go, man, that investment in that person or in that discussion, it paid off.
Right.
So shifting back to social media, do you believe that there is a difference between posting, let's say, from your personal page and your business page? Let me ask you, do you have a personal and a business page or just a personal?
I have a business and a personal. Unfortunately, the business is kind of almost like auto-generated from corporate. So that's why I tend to focus more on my personal page. But I also, like I said, the groups are the big thing, finding the right audience. Now, I also have an Instagram where I post all my memes, and that's strictly just memes, and that's fun for me.
Sure. Therapeutic.
Yep. Absolutely therapeutic. And it's just a way to step back and just enjoy life a little bit. Make someone smile for just, you never know what someone's going through that day.
You never know.
If you can make them laugh with a meme or a dad joke, you may have helped them out.
I love dad jokes. That's so awesome. Yes.
One day we're going to do one on that.
That's awesome.
Firing back and forth.
It's just dad joke after
while
dad
eating
joke.
hot wings. Like the hot, what is that? What is that show called?
I'd have to tap out.
It's the hot
challenge.
Something. Oh, that's the best.
Okay. So how did you choose your platforms? Because right now, we had Facebook, we had Instagram, then TikTok evolved. And it was like, I'm absolutely terrified of TikTok. My brother, on the other hand, he's crushing it. He's doing a great job.
He's great. I love seeing Preston. Man.
I had him on here for our first episode regarding becoming a loan officer. And that was one of the key factors that he spoke about. But for example, we're having this discussion and neither one of us has talked about TikTok because it's just not relevant to us right now.
Not right now, but it's huge with everybody else. I mean, several of our loan officers are at our branch. They utilize TikTok. You see it with real estate agents all the time. You see it in every industry. They're just
next bandwagon, but it does work.
It does work. I saw a couple posts where it was like, just got my first lead off TikTok. And I'm like, that's crazy. I mean, you're just doing like a 10 or 15 second dance, or, they're pointing at, no down payment or possibly those point. Exactly.
It works.
And it works. And, and like I said, it's almost like what we talked about earlier. You really can't fail when you're doing that because you're just pushing your name out there. So no matter if it's TikTok, Instagram, but like, as you asked earlier, I was already in Facebook world. I actually remember when I was thinking about getting an Instagram for my real estate memes, I talked to my little cousin about it. She's like 22. She goes, yeah, you should do Instagram. I was like, well, I like my Facebook. And she was like, well, Facebook's for old people. And I was like, ooh, I hate you right now.
I hear the
no
same
Christmas present for you. But
right.
So yeah.
And I guess Facebook is for old people.
Yeah.
And we're old people.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to get an Instagram. But really where I like to focus my attention is on the groups, finding that right audience and utilizing that. And just
do you think it's important for someone getting into this industry to stay up to speed with the new platform or the new, I mean, I can't really attest to it other than what I know about Preston and him actually getting leads through it. But me personally, I only have a TikTok to watch his videos.
Right.
That's it.
That makes sense. I don't know. I just kind of feel like, I think the most important thing for me is no matter what platform you utilize, the key is engagement. Like, sure, you throw a post out there into the metaverse, but are you engaging with them after that? I mean,
sure.
Every algorithm says, if you don't engage or comment or respond to somebody, it's kind of just pushed aside. But when you engage more, it's almost
Boost
like
it back
SEO.
up.
Like, yeah, it goes right back up.
Yeah.
So it's like, I tell everybody, it's like, I'm sure you post, but do you engage, bro? Like you got to engage. So no matter what platform.
And I think that is a key factor in itself, which is pay attention to the signs. And what I mean by signs is the engagement, the opportunities, which you've got to understand a little bit that there is an algorithm behind any platform that is hungry for likes and hungry for shares. And they utilize our content to put in front of other people. And in order to do that, you've got to engage with it. One tactic I used to use, this was 2012, 13, 14, before they figured it out, which was if you like your post, it'll push it back up. Then you unlike it. And then you like it again, it'll push it right back up.
It's crazy.
I used to do that all the time. Nowadays, they probably figured it out. But those little things in, I guess, going about using social media to leverage for business.
Oh, yeah. Based on what you talked about with liking your own post. And you're right. I have read that. And yes, of course, I think they might have figured it out. But what I also know is that, for instance, I'll post something and maybe it'll be something informative or hilarious. And you bring in these likes and comments. Well, I'll always like or comment on a couple of them, follow, then let it simmer for a while.
Yeah.
Even if it's 6 hours. And then I'll go back. Okay, let me engage again. And it's like, all of a sudden you just get more feedback. So it's like, it brings it back to life again. Like, and you can consistently do that. I'm over here getting like comments from posts from 4 or 5 days ago. And I'm like, okay, they were onto something here.
And I used to do a class, social media, leveraging social media. And that was one of the things that I would say is let it simmer, wait a couple hours, midday. You've got to understand that people are on their phone periodically throughout the day. I mean, that may not be true anymore. People are like plugged in all day, every day. Doesn't matter what you do for a living, bus drivers sitting there on Facebook. But back then, when I was engaging a lot and putting a lot of my effort into that, I would play the game of, okay, it's been a couple of hours. Let me go in and start commenting on it. Let me back away from it so that it would boost me up again and again. And when I talk to the loan officers about it, they're like, no, that doesn't work. It's like, guys, you're not posting enough to understand if it works or not.
Absolutely right. Like I said, it's just crazy to me when I see somebody will post something and then they leave it alone. They don't engage or follow up or anything like that. And that's not how it's going to work. Like,
well, and it's also telling as to how they do business behind that post.
Right. No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So I do think that there is a way to start killing your social media business, in my opinion. I want to see if you can confirm or give feedback on it. But when I preach about social media and the power of it, my only real rules are no politics and no religion.
Absolutely. I mean, I wish some of my family members follow those rules. Oh man. But no, you're absolutely right. Like if you can provide information, provide maybe a little entertainment, give stories about yourself, like you talked about earlier, make yourself a human in Facebook world or Instagram, be you, but yes, leave religion and politics out of it. Like, if anything, it'll cut your clients in half with one post. Like,
sure.
Why would you?
Why do it?
Yeah. So just
if you believe what you believe, fantastic. Yeah. And I'm not saying keep it to yourself, but I just see
time and place for everything.
Time and a place for everything. I like that. It's knowing your audience and your audience in social media world. You really don't know who all is paying attention and when they're paying attention, that it's going to flip a switch that says you're not my guy anymore. And I think running that risk for no good reason other than feeling good on yourself, it's just not worth it.
Not worth it at all. I mean, it can only get bad. Like, I mean, sure, you might get people that like it and they're like, oh yeah, go. Like, I feel you, blah, blah, blah. But you're also disassociating yourself from a whole, like I said, possibly 50% of your base.
Sure.
So you're like you said, it's not worth it.
I agree. So if, let's say, there are those that believe that they need to hire a social media manager or a professional photographer, videographer, things of that nature, what are your thoughts on that?
I say absolutely go with it. Anything you can do to boost your business, boost yourself, you roll with it. Some people, there's a reason those people are out there because they're good at it. They're the pros. They're the ones that they've been doing this for a while. Now, mind you, there's a lot of them out there that maybe, but, do your research. And if you have the ability to get a social media marketing manager or something like that, absolutely go with it. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Sure. No, I'll agree with that.
You're putting your name out there again and again. They're doing it for you. I mean, you know what I mean? Now you can use that time to follow up with your clients, to generate more leads. You know what I mean? If you have the means to do it, I absolutely go with it.
Now, I guess two questions or twofold on this is, do you think that it is possible if someone goes that route that it disconnects them from their base, their target audience, things of that nature? And then my second question would be, if you were to take that, you know what, I've got proof that this is working. I've got loans coming in. Hey, manager, hey, mentor, will you fund this so that I can do that?
Right.
Is that something that you would be willing to have a discussion about?
Yeah. For the first thing you said, as far as, are you still making yourself you? Well, that's a conversation you got to have up front with your media manager. You know, okay, this is who I am. I mean, that person really needs to get to know who you are, but you just can't let them do everything. You got to throw your own stuff in there. That way it still is organic and it's not auto-generated emails. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I think that's important, but at the same time, no matter what, you still got to engage. That's the ultimate.
You've got to do your part, especially if you're going to put that on autopilot. Okay. I agree with that.
As far as, you know, if you have a good idea, I mean, and your company is willing to support it, absolutely just bring it to their attention, because no matter what industry you're in, if you're showing your manager or your branch, okay, or your mentor, like, hey, I'm trying here. Like I got an idea. Like maybe we should bring them on board to help support me. Any supportive leader would say, absolutely go for it. I'm going to do anything I can to help you.
Now, do you believe that's something that a loan officer should invest in themselves first or get some results? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Because in my opinion, I think everything that you're doing is organic, if I'm not mistaken, with no dollars behind it, things like that, which is freaking awesome. People aspire to do that, and it takes time, and anybody can do that. But that being the case, I mean, do you believe that one should invest in themselves? For example, I have always believed and preached that a loan officer, we can make a pretty good living. You should be, if you want your business to grow, investing 20, 25% of what you make back into your business, your own business, not asking somebody else to do it so that you can make more money.
I think the important thing with that is, before you go spending all this money or really being active in it, I think you first have to build your audience. If you're over here posting, or your social media is posting stuff for you, and you have 30 followers on Facebook, it's really probably not going to do much. You got to figure out who you're trying to attract. For real estate agents, you're trying to attract buyers and sellers.
Right.
So in a sense, you should have every family member possible, even the ones you hate. They should be your friends. They should be following you on any platform. So build that audience as heavy as you can. For instance, for advice for a loan officer, obviously we know who we're trying to target: buyers and real estate agents. And once you build that big enough audience, then that's when that most social media marketing money really comes into play, because it's getting spread out there more. That's for people that may not do ads, but if you have the ability to do an ad, absolutely. Like you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. Yeah. Sure. Now, I guess I want to show or talk about how you've used, and we talked about it briefly earlier, the approach that you use, which was targeting groups instead of going direct to consumer or direct to realtor. It's more of I don't want to say an echo chamber, because it's not. It's essentially knowing your audience and being meticulous on picking. Instead of being a sniper, you're more of a bombs expert.
Yeah. You're like, lay it all out for everybody. Exactly. No, you're right. You're absolutely. I'm going to give you that. That was good. That was good. Yeah. I figured it out pretty quick with, I was like, hey, I think I have some decent stuff here. And I was like, but my friends don't like it. Boo hoo. No, you need to find your audience.
Well, like I always say, if we only did business with our friends, we'd all be broke.
Exactly. And yeah, just find that. I mean, like I said, I'm a big supporter of those groups. I mean, especially Shift Talk here locally. Okay.
And then you had mentioned earlier, Real Estate Masterminds.
Right,
I don't think I'm in that group. Yeah. I might be. I don't know. I've got it here, but go ahead. What is that all about?
That's a national, not even national. It's more like worldwide. It's the largest real estate Facebook group in the world. And it was started by my boy, Mike Chang. He actually moved from San Francisco, and now he lives in Austin. So I believe he kind of started it originally.
Is this the one here?
That's it. I mean, look at that, 200,000 members.
Oh, I'm in there.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's a big group.
Large group. And this is a national group.
Right. A national group. And I kind of started it for their lead generation business. And it just kind of, all of a sudden people were, asking questions, posting about success stories or even something as simple as which headshot do you like better? And it's still like, you know what I mean? Like people will give their input. And so when you have that big of a group, why not tap into it?
Oh, I agree. And then talking about the leverage, we've got loan officers that I come in contact that say that they want to get licensed in multiple different states. And it's like, I totally get that if you've got spigots to turn them on there.
Right.
But in groups, you're able to go nationally to where now you open up your opportunity to receive referrals for those moving to Texas. And as we know, there's a lot of people moving to Texas.
This is good. There's a few. No, you're absolutely right. And even so, like, say you have a colleague in another state and they're like, now all of a sudden you can provide them a lead or a real estate agent because of these groups. You're like, hey, I have somebody moving to California. I remember you from your post and you're very informative and I've seen your success stories. I'm going to go ahead and give you this client that's moving out there.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? So hopefully you can help them. And all of a sudden now you're talking like when you,
And that, in my opinion, is so much more powerful than suggesting a company to someone. You're able to hold that person accountable. That person is going to do above and beyond the normal job because it came from you and they want to uphold the image or respect that you currently have that's inherent because that referral came through that platform.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you build that relationship. Obviously you do your best work because your name, now you're, like I said, they're going to know your name's behind it and you're going to know their names behind it. Like just maintain that relationship and it could be, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing when it works like that.
Yeah. Okay. I wanted to go through some of your memes.
Oh, here we go.
For those that can't see what we're doing, but let's see. Shift Talk has quite a few of them.
Let's find a nice one.
Let's see.
Like we talked about earlier. Sometimes I do take it a little
nice. They're all nice.
Sometimes I take it a little too far.
Now, let me ask you, is it flattering when you see people jumping in there with memes these days to try and, I'm not going to say emulate, but also get the same effect within the same groups?
Yeah, no.
Fail.
Yeah, no.
Just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, I love when I see agents like, hey, they'll send me a message, a text, or a DM, like, hey, what do you think about this one? And I'm like, yes, thank you for doing that. Thank you for. I'm like a meme dad over here.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
Now, I mean, I'll tell you, the first one that pops on here is not yours. It says agents after brokerage holiday party, and it's got the boxer laying face down.
That is good.
I will be honest, this is not as funny as what I would normally see you put out there.
See, it's because
it's got engagement.
It's got engagement. You know what I mean? But that's from the broke agent, so they do a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
I actually haven't. Now that you reminded me, maybe after this, I need to make a meme. You can actually go and you can search for the name.
How do you do it?
Let's see. Where is
search right there? Bam.
There you go.
And we're gonna go Eric Delgado. There he is.
Oh man, here we go.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the post that provoked this conversation. He said, I think it's about time we meme Gary Rodriguez and Mark Jones. Yeah, that sounds fun. Buckle up. So I had reached out to him, and obviously we are friends, so that went a long way and got us here today. Let's find
actually, that's one of my favorites. That right there. What's really fun is when you start memeing your colleagues, your coworkers.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry for those who aren't seeing it. My coworker MJ decided she wanted to show up one day to work looking like Trinity. So,
and let me tell you, she is in a leather dress with like a square sequence that looks literally like she walked out of the Matrix set.
Exactly.
And he's saying when you have a closing at 2, but have to meet Neo and Morpheus at 4. I love it. So let me ask you, does that inspire other people within your office, or is it just a good feeling that it's accepted and now everybody's kind of fair game and it's also promoting them at the same time?
Well, they're a little cautious when I say, like, hey, let's take a picture together. Like, why?
Yes.
Like, why? What do you have up your sleeve? It's actually refreshing when I get other people involved, or when others, like you said earlier, try to emulate it. It's a good feeling because, and I know this is how you are too, it's a better feeling when you're helping other people out.
100%. Yes.
So now all of a sudden, you're promoting their brand as well. You're supporting them and you're just being a good person.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing as I'm scrolling is throughout the course of your meme, let's call it career, meme and mortgage career, you have turned this into a, hey, let's meet at an event, Thirsty Horse, something along those lines, so that you can actually meet the people that are liking and loving your posts, get to meet you in person.
Yeah, a lot of times they don't recognize me because of my headshot.
Wait, what happened to that guy?
Yeah, that's like, wait, you're Eric Delgado? I was like, yeah. That headshot's from like 3 years ago. I had my glasses on, and people were like, you look younger in person. So I'm like, okay, so why would I change that headshot then? I'm going to keep that sucker up, all right? Because I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, I'm trying to portray that I'm in the mortgage business. It's stressful.
Oh yeah, and like you said earlier, just mix it up a little, throw like these things out there, especially for real estate agents or new LOs. Yeah, build the audience. And then when you have enough, throw a little event. Have, meet up with 6 or 8. Have them.
And that's the leverage part there.
Exactly.
I mean, if you kind of back to what you were saying in regards to if you put the post out there and don't engage, if you put the post out there and don't do something to turn the like to a lead, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I hope you get paid to do memes. Type thing.
Exactly.
Are you promoting some other business? I mean, at the end of the day, branding is a key factor of the future. Someone will do business with a brand because of what it means. And if you're able to get your brand to as many people and then back it up on the back end, you're going to go much further than anybody else that doesn't stand behind a brand, that doesn't know what their brand is. And it's a testament for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and like I said, yes, you do got to create your brand, but first figure out who you are first, what you're good at, what your niche is. And that only comes from practice. You're not going to make one post or make one commercial and then you're like, oh, all of a sudden everything's going to come flooding, all these referrals and leads. Nah, it took me probably a good 2 years, I'd say, to kind of build myself up. And that was because of constant engagement. It's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to have 2 million TikTok followers like immediately. You got to keep it going.
You are correct. I mean, personally, and I use this as a prime example when I'm talking about social media to newer loan officers that are wanting to get into that realm or think that it's possible to just put a couple posts out and start getting some business. I tell them, go back to my social media page in 2012 when I first started in the industry and keep scrolling. You'll notice that the engagement, the likes and things of that nature didn't come for about 2 years. Mind you, all the while I was posting the same things. I was talking about the same things. The motivation was there. The failures were there, all of that good stuff. But it wasn't until people saw that I was going to be consistent and in it for the long run. And I think at this point, and it has nothing to do with time, it's just you have been able to back it up on the other side in doing the transactions that people go, you know what? He's not just a meme generator.
Yeah. That's the important thing. That's where you got to back it up. You got to follow up. I remember one real estate agent was like, hey, do your memes make money? And I was like, do you get paid from? I was like, well, actually, they do make money.
Yeah, big time.
I was like, you just saw it. Hit me up. Like,
exactly right.
I'll show you how they make money. But regardless, just
that, I guess, I don't know if I should talk about it, but I'm going to anyway. I believe consumers, digesters of social media are stuck and hooked to it when we use it as business and leverage and a promotional and top of mind, because we've got a product to sell behind that. Right. There are a lot of consumers that take it and use it and they're just wanting the clout or the likes or what have you. But at the end of the day, what are you leveraging it for? And I think that's what separates a consumer from I don't know, what do you want to call it? Somebody behind the curtain versus playing the game?
You're absolutely right. But you use it that's the name again, using it to generate leads.
It works.
Now, sometimes I'm not exactly so proud of my posts, but regardless,
we've all been there.
Oh yeah, you remember it though. They'll see me like at an event or a party, like, oh, you're the guy that said that. I'm like, but you remember me. Now.
I had the guts, and now we're talking about it, so it worked.
Right.
So let's see here. We've gotten quite a bit through. Are there any tips? Are there any tricks? Are there any suggestions that you would like to leave the listener with? Any stories that you've gone through? Anything that you want to leave us with that we can take to the bank and cash?
Yeah. I mean, figure out a way to, first of all, know who you're trying to attract. Okay. And then figure out a way to engage with them. Even if you see, like, for instance, in our industry, we're trying to attract real estate agents. As soon as I see a Chicago Cubs fan, a real estate agent wearing Cubs gear, I'm going to go in their DM and I'm going to be like, go Cubbies.
That's your peeps.
Anytime.
Yeah.
If you can find something to relate with that person, even if it's a client, like literally if I get a client, sometimes I'll go through their Facebook.
I do the same thing.
Yeah.
100%.
I want to figure out who I'm working with. People should do that more often.
I agree.
Okay?
I mean, the idea of posting the closing picture, that was a thing when I first got in the industry, and nobody was doing it.
Right.
I was doing that at work because it showed people that were doing business.
Right.
But these days, you want to get that person who just closed to post that picture and tag you in it because you did a good job.
Right.
And that goes way further than you being the cause of that post going up online.
Absolutely right. You bring up another good point. Like, you're doing pretty well, you're getting good when you got other people marketing for you.
Yes, sir.
By tagging you. Now you're like, wow, okay, I think I'm onto something here. It's like a story with one of my real estate agents named Terry Gill, one of the craziest agents I've ever met. This dude would buy these car magnets with his name on them in his face. Well, his friends they would keep stealing them at the bars and start driving around town with them. And at first he was like, dude, I paid good money for those. And then he was like, wait a second. Okay, you guys are doing my work for me. I'm gonna go and buy some more.
Bravo.
Go ahead.
That's exactly right.
So, I mean, yeah, if you can get people to do that, it's a beautiful thing. Of course, pretty much what we targeted on was the engagement. Like, I mean, the way I see it, like, say you host a party, right? But you don't talk to anybody. Is anybody going to go back to your next party?
No.
Host party, engage, talk to everybody, comment, like, do what you got to do, because on that next post, Facebook literally will alert. Oh, Mark Jones has made a post. Oh, let's check out what he had to say.
That's right.
And so engage, be a good party host, a post host.
Be a butterfly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so today we have talked about social media, memes and mortgages, a couple of different ways that you can inject yourself into the social media world. And I will be 100% transparent and honest that business cards, in my opinion, are dead. They waste paper and kills trees. And at the end of the day, they probably end up on the floorboard of the cars or in the parking lot on the way out.
I've seen a couple of mine in a parking lot.
Right?
Parking lots. Yeah.
So a couple of key factors that I want to make sure to mention is be careful when it comes to utilizing someone else's content for copyright issues, repeating something that someone already has said. You're better off creating your own or sharing their post. It's not worth the trouble that you could get into. See here. Make sure that you are following up. It's not enough to just put the content out there. You've got to do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And I think it's very refreshing when you're able to reach out to somebody that's so humorous and they actually know what the hell they're doing. It's like, wow, he's funny and smart too. And damn good looking.
That's right. I'm going to leave that headshot up there. There
awesome. And then the final one, guys, stay away from politics and religion. It's just not worth it. If you want to talk that, keep them in group texts. Go and find social media groups that you can spew all of your content and feelings, and it's just not worth it or necessary at all.
And you're right. And by no means are you saying hold back on your opinions. No, just do it right time, right place.
There's a right time and a right place for it.
Now, if you don't care about earning money, then go ahead, post away. Tell us how much you love Trump. Tell us how much you love Biden. Like, go ahead.
That's right. Well, it's been fantastic. You have been fantastic. I really appreciate you joining me on this episode.
I appreciate you inviting me.
I hope you guys got plenty out of this. There were plenty of nuggets that were dropped, and thanks for listening.
Can we do a boom before?
Hashtag boom. See you on the next one, guys.